Afternoon, everybody. Here we are again. What, tile 98. It's almost, we're at finishing line, almost to 100. It's a really nice sort of bright blue sky here today. I have taken a photograph. I saw a full rainbow this morning, so that was really nice. Although it's very, very cold. So, you know, we're here in our nice warm woolly jumpers and things. So that's all good. Okay, what do I have with me today then? Oh, I hope you're ready for this. It's got to be a good one. I've got my cream tile. I'm going with cream tile for, well, not for a change, but it just really works well on camera and you can see it clearly. So that's great. I've got my regular pen, my pencil, my tortillon, and do you know what? I think that's probably where I'm going to leave it today. I'm just going to stick with the basics. I do have a straight edge. So it might be whether you've got a tile or whether you want to use that ruler kind of thing. That's absolutely fine. It's just to sort of help you with this initial sort of grid that we're going to do. But other than that, yes, here we go then. Are we ready? Turning it over then. Deep breath. Just sort of take a moment and just think, do you know what? We've come a long way, haven't we? This is our 98th hour live together. And that's quite a good going, isn't it? And yeah, Susan, we had a little bit of snow this morning too, but it wasn't enough to, you know, stop us going anywhere. So not to worry. Okay, you might just want to sort of hang fire just a little moment with this, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to create. Now, it doesn't matter where you do this, but you need a little bit of space either side. And I'm going to just draw in a rectangle. Let's have a look. Of course, we've got lots of stencils and things for this, but I'm here just sort of making my own decision as to what size. There we go. So it's sort of the middle. It doesn't have to be. And I am going to bring in and add a little bit of a border to that. There we go. So it's almost like doing the border around the edge. And oh, Sheila, you're in Doncaster too. Oh, I know it is. Yeah, but it's not snowing, so I'm not complaining. There we are. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a frame now. It's changed from a rectangle to a bit of a frame. Okay, I've done all that in pencil because some of it we'll want to keep and some of it we won't a little bit later on. So let's go a little bit larger. Oh, there we go, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to sort of work, when I say in the centre, maybe not. But before I go, I think let's bring the pencil back in. And I'm going to just create, let's go out a little bit. I'm going to create a little bit of a sort of a swirl. Maybe one here. Now this next one, I'm going to draw it this way, but there we are. Got a little bit of a thing going. It doesn't matter how that works, whether you come further over, whether you do. But I've got 3 sort of little bubbles in there. You can do 4, you can do 2. See how it goes. But it's just somewhere to start with. Okay, here we go then. So in with a pen, and I'm going to choose an area in between these sort of shapes here. Go a bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let's have a little dot in there. And then I'm going to come around just as I was going to do a regular swirl. Oh, I know, Lorraine, I don't even know what day it is. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah. And then I'm going to sort of join it together. There we are. Okay, what we're going to do next week when all this is over. Okay, I'm just going to add a thinner line around that one, just sort of doing a bit of an aura going on there and back in there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just choose, I'm going to sort of come around the space here. Let's just add in a little bump. And then again, just doing that little aura there. All right. So then I'm going to do another. Let's take it from here and bring it round here. It doesn't have to be the same size, it can be different. It's not a problem. And again, let's just do a bit of an aura around there. Okay. And then I'm going to do another. Okay. I have actually prepared tile 100. So be prepared. Oh, Lindsay, no, I'm not going to abandon you completely. It's certainly not the way things are going again. No, I think it's, yeah, we'll keep going, but I've got something a little bit more of a challenge in mind as well, so something a little bit different, just to change things up a bit. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I enjoy doing these. It's really good. See, I'm just sort of going round and creating these little bubbles. There we go, see? And again, just adding that little aura around there. Double rainbow in Washington. We didn't get a double one, but we could see both edges or both ends. No pot of gold though. But you know, it was just really beautiful to look at. It's lovely, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to let's put another one in there. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at that. There we are. So you could keep going with that and, you know, keep adding more and more, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna come in and just add a couple of little lines just in each one. Just gonna do my 3. See, it's flicking from the inner bit outwards. Oh, Michelle, that's lovely. I'm not going to abandon you. So don't panic. We'll still be here. It's all right. There we go. All right. So let's have a look at where we are with that. So we've got that sort of little flower kind of shape going on, I suppose. All right. I'm going to have a go now. It's filling one of these sort of little bubbles in that we've created. So we're ready for this. I'm going to sort of work from the point. See where that cross is there? And I'm going to come up the middle and a little bit of a curve, you see, to the top. And then I'm just going to come out and over the top there. And then from that point, back down till it joins back at that bottom section. So I'm going to do one this side. So again, I'm going to come up to the drawn line there, around, just over the top there. And then down into there. Okay. Oh, Elaine, I will. Now I know tomorrow you're going to need a circular stencil, sort of a bit of a ring. I know that one. And tile 100, you're going to need 2 tiles. Oh, Chris, no, honestly, I'm not going to abandon you. No, it's just nice, I think, isn't it? That it just feels like something's finishing, but something then new can start, isn't it? It's you know, our challenge to get to 100, but no, it'll be great. Okay, see what I've just done there? I've just now drawn in those lines just around that area. Okay, so let's now take one of the other bubbles. I'm going to do the same thing in this one. It's a little bit larger, but that doesn't matter. And again, you can go this way or that way. It doesn't matter. Whatever's comfortable. Now, you can see that the point that I'm working from is here underneath this little petal. So just imagine that you're starting from that point and then come up and over just as before. And then back down. And then the same again. Back and over. and then back down. It's always though I'm aiming for that point. And then again here. So, I mean, if you want to put more in, that's fine. But I'm just going to stick with the 3. And then again, I'm going to just join in those lines. Okay. All right, let's have a look at where we're at. Okay, looks a bit weird at the minute, but don't panic. Okay, now this one here, you can see that it's got this frame running through it. So my decision now is, do I actually have it coming over the frame, or do I have it going under the frame? Because you can see here that these have gone over. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to take it, well, I think I'm going to put the curve this way. It feels like it needs to. But I'm going to stop and go underneath and then carry on the line. So this one is going to be underneath that frame. There we go, same coming back. Okay. And then let's get another one in. Now that one, see, it's going to be sort of in there, so I'm not going to see the rest of that little bit. That's going to stop there. But then this one I will. Again, I'm going to go underneath the frame, a little bobble on the top, and then back down. And then, of course, I'm just going to draw in those lines, just like before. But of course, don't draw in the frame. There we go. Okay. All right, let's have a look at that. Okay, doesn't matter which way round it goes, it's just that, you know, I'm quite looking that way at the minute. So I think what I'm going to do here then, I've got this sort of curl. So while I've got it here, I'm actually going to bring this over the top of it and just take it round a little bit more, and then add a little bit of weight to that bottom edge. There we are. Oh, Sonia, do you know what then? Relax with it. Try and avoid the pressure on your pen when you're doing sort of curves. Maybe hold it a little bit further out and just move your whole hand rather than your wrist. So like your whole hand and arm rather than just sort of moving it from the wrist. That might help. Okay. I'm going to bring another one out here. Actually, I might swap pens. That one's a little bit, feels a little bit scratchy. There we go. Oh, that's better. There we go. Again, just filling in a little bit there. And then just adding a little bit of weight there. Not all of it, just a little bit. Okay? I think while we're on that subject, you see I've got one here. I'm going to bring this curl in. And round, just as the last one, and then onto this section here, just thickening it up a little bit, and then of course a little bit there too. There we go. Shall I put another one? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so again, just thickening up that edge a bit there. Okay. All right. Oh, Sonia. Yeah, it's worth a try, isn't it? Just to see how it goes. Okay, let's come back to these bubble shapes. Now you can actually fill these with anything you like. It's entirely up to you, but I'm going to do a nice little pattern that we've done before, and I think it looks really nice in small areas. So we've got this bit of a curl going on, but then I'm just going to add that little bump and then take it round and just add another little bump, and then just sort of follow it round, adding little bumps here and there as I go, just to sort of give it a bit of texture, you see. Okay, I'm not going to make these too large. I'm going to start another one. Now, if you've got a wobbly hand, this is an ideal tangle to use because It actually quite likes wobbly lines. It fits really well. Okay. And back in, doing another. You see, just adding those little bumps as you go. And same with these. And of course you could do a regular swirl. I think it's something quite nice, isn't there, about doing this one with bumps. And of course this tangle you could do in a sort of a straighter line. You don't have to do it in a swirl. Well, there's options with it. There we go, just working my way around. Not doing them too large. Okay. And I'll get another one in here. There we go. Right. So of course I'm going to fill in the rest of those spaces with the same tangle, just to get that consistency going. You know, I always start with the dot. I know you don't have to, but I think it's quite important that you sort of define your space as you begin. So putting that dot in really does that. And just working my way around into there. Oh, sorry, moved that a little bit too much. Sorry. Okay. So even though this particular space, this section here goes to nothing here, I'm still treating it as though it's a separate section. And then when I bring on the other side, that's separate too. So just keeps them sort of sectioned. There you are. See, just adding in those extra little bubbles and bumps, and okay. I'll get another one in there. Okay. Let's have a look at that from a little bit more of a distance. There we go. So you've got something that looks a little bit like that. A bit unusual, but kind of cool. So I'm going to work on the others. And again, I'm going to do the same pattern, but if you want a bit of a change, it's fine. But quite like the idea of not having to think too much. Just working on this pattern. Just enjoying doing those little bumps and filling them in with that bit of black ink. Just taking my time. There we are. No rush. Okay. So if you've got any bits that you think, oh, there's a bit of a gap there, then fill it in with a bit of ink. It'll all work. There we go. And sometimes where you might find you get into a bit of a routine and you end up with a pattern forming, so we want them random. If you think, oh no, I'm starting in the same place each time, then start at the other end and really shake things up a little bit. And you're gonna find that it's not so random anymore. Oh, Nadia, I thought when we're tangling it's supposed to be like you're having a nap. I don't want to tire you out. No, that's all right. Whatever works. I've got time for a lie down here though. We're all guns ahead, going for things ready for the 1st of January because I have got a new product. I know you sort of think, really, why do you want to launch a new product January the 1st? But I think it'll be a really nice one just to sort of change the way you tangle a little bit. I know we tend to stick to the same patterns, so I want to do something that's going to help you break away from that a little bit. So, oh, Lorraine, not today. Being that it's my birthday tomorrow, I might share with you tomorrow. we're all ready. We're in the throes of making, so yeah, we should have some kits out ready. It's pretty cool actually. I love it. It's a great way of working. Oh, Francis, yes, I will be. They are going to go on the show. I've got A5 and A4. So if you want one, yeah, that's the place to go. I don't know if they've put anything on yet. They haven't got photographs of the new stuff yet. I haven't sent it in. I'm going to do that this afternoon. So even if you're looking for, thank you Victoria, if you're looking on the site to see what's new, it won't be there yet. Because I haven't told them what it is. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh, missed a bit there, look. There you are. Alright, so there's a couple going on. So I'm going to do the same on this one. It's sort of, it's in keeping, isn't it, with the flower? Although I didn't do the bumps on the flower, that's a bit swirly. So it all fits in pretty well today. It's one of those random ones, but it's not random because I've planned it, so I know where we're going. You just continue with your pen or your pencil or whatever you may be sketching with, and just enjoy watching it grow. Oh no, Louise. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, I get excited anyway, you know that. I do love what I do. But we think this one's a good one. So, no more book 4s yet though. I think there might still be a few on the side. I don't know, but there's not many. But even though we make them ourselves, I'm waiting for paper to come in. And that's not going to hit till 4th or 5th of January. So they will be back on the next show, but not on the 1st. So there we go. Oh, thank you, Susan. Oh, Lindsay, I'm not. You're guessing. I'm not telling. You have to wait and see. Okay. So remember, we're going underneath, so we want to keep this frame intact around the edges. So, just be aware that... Oh, I missed one. Who was that? Oh, hi, Julie. Who's your grandson? I'm going to have to say hello. It's nice, isn't it, to actually be able to do something that you both enjoy. I'm sure you don't see each other as often as you'd like, and it's tricky. No. So, I know, Lorraine, we did say, didn't we, that if anybody wants to tomorrow, please feel free to sit with a cup of tea or coffee or even Prosecco and bring cake, and we'll sit and have a piece of cake. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? It'd be like having a virtual birthday party. Oh, no. My mum might join us tomorrow as well, because I did say to her that we were going to do that, and she's like, oh, that's quite a good idea. But then knowing my mum, who knows? Who knows? Oh, hey, Tom. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it'd be nice to see what you've done if you've had a go. You have to post me a picture. I can see it. Okay, so you can see here now I've got this frame, very, very distinctive, isn't it? So I'm just going to come in and draw in the line, just because I know it's there now. Let's just neaten that up. We can finish the rest later. We don't know what we're doing, see, yet. Okay, so yeah, it looks a little bit crazy, but we haven't finished yet. Okay, next bit then. I'm going to choose, I want something with a bit of a corner in it. So maybe here. Let's pull that up a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little curve in there. And I'm just going to I'm not going to go all the way in, I don't think. Maybe just to there. And I'm just going to fill it. There's that colouring in with black again, isn't it? Alright. There we go. And then that's just in keeping with that flower I've done. I'm just going to put a little aura there. Okay. And then let's go a little bit larger. I'm going to start sort of centrally and putting just a line in. Okay. And then from that line, I'm going to do another and another, and I'm just going to pull them out. You see? Down one side. And then again, down the other. You notice they're starting to slightly curve round. And then I'm just going to put a little dot on the end of each one. So this could be quite nice to use one of your gel pens if you've got one, if you wanted. Just to add that little bit on. Alright. And then coming back to the centre, I'll go a bit larger. I'm just going to repeat those lines. You see, just sort of, there's a bit of a fringe, flicking it up. So it just looks a little more depth in there, okay? So we need another one of these. Where am I going to put another one of these? See, I've got a nice sort of gap here. So let's just add that one in there. And of course yours might be completely different to mine, and well, I'm sure it is. So you just find a section where you think it's going to work and you put yours in there. Same aura there. You notice I've not gone all the way around there. And this is a beauty of this kind of artwork, because you don't have to create the full image. You can just draw as little or as, as much of it as you like, really. It doesn't have to follow all those rules and regulations. We just do what we feel like. Okay? And same on this side. You see, I'm just going to go underneath there. Put that fringe in while I'm just sort of in that mode, and then add those dots on there as I go. Okay, all right, let's have a look at that. All right, so far so good. That's not bad at all. Now the next thing you look at is, okay, we've got one of these, 3 of these and 2 of these. If I was to add another flower in, it might be a little bit too much. It might be then, oh, you've got 3 of those and 3 of those. So I'm not going to add another one of those in. I'm going to do some other bits and pieces. So just be aware of that. Don't try and sort of build it so you've got the same amount of things. You're honestly after different each time. So let's come to, I want something with a bit of space. So I'm going to work in this section here. And because I've got this part of the frame covered, do I really want everything underneath here? So I'm thinking so for this one. I suppose so, yeah, Lindsay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the inside here. Let's have a think now. Actually, yeah, before I do that, I'm going to put a line in, just a bit of a curve to help me so I know where I'm going. So I'm going to go from here, and then I'm going to go underneath and down there. Okay. And then I'm going to start on this side with, I'm going to start this side because I've got more space. A bit of a loop, see? And then I'm going to come back and do another, you see, it's back on myself. And then I'm going to keep doing these little loops. And it's just going to get smaller and smaller. They're going underneath. Smaller and smaller. Okay, and then same on the other side. So they start a little bit bigger, and then as you start to work your way down, they're going to get smaller and smaller, and just smaller and smaller. How small can you go? Okay, so look at that. Oh, look at that. That looks ace. Love that. All right. So I'm going to put a couple more of these in. Let's have a look. Let's put one in. I'm going to put one in here. So this one, look, is going to go this way. And then start with a loop again. So this loop's going to go underneath here to start with. See? Because it's got to be a little bit larger at the bottom. Otherwise, you're going to have nothing left when you get to the top. So just working that loop smaller and smaller each time. You see how it gets smaller, and then just got a little bobble one on the end. Oh, these are ever such a lot of fun to do. You're going to love these. I don't think they're quite going to take over the zingers, but I think you're going to love them. If you need to do a leaf. Look at that. There you go. Oh, loving that. Okay, another one. Now this time I'm going to bring it out here, so I'm going to come as though it's going underneath and pulling it out that way. Oh, Julie, no, they're ace. Let's have a look. The ace. And just have a bit of fun with it, you know. See, that's going, I don't want it to go inside that flower there, so I'm just imagining, see, it's going around there. There we go. Now it's getting a little bit smaller and smaller. Just don't go too fast that you forget what you're doing. There we go. And same here, see, I'm going to just sort of pick up this bit here. So make sure that they touch at the top and the bottom. I think the faster you go, the more open they start to look. So just be aware and just slow down a little bit. There we go. All right. Oh, so now is the chance, isn't it? Now is the time to have a go, honestly. So I'm going to put one in here. There we go. So there's my sort of my curve, my starting point. I know, deep breath, Bridget. Deep breath, and then go for it. So start with the loop, even if sometimes you've got to stop and then come back. You know, you only have to do one at a time if you want to. You see, stop each time. And then, when you're comfortable, just work your way, using that line as a bit of a guide. Just to work them out. I'm going to put one on the top there. And then, of course, same this way. So that's sort of going under my flower. You see, nice and gradual. It is remembering to get smaller, yeah. Maybe if you put a bit of a guideline in, if you're really struggling, just to give you a bit of a guide. There you go. All right. Okay, so I've got a few more gaps I want to do something different with. So I'm just going to turn it on its side a little bit. I'm going to work on this area here. So again, all this, as you can see, it has sort of gone over the top of the frame. I think now I'm going to do one that goes on the underneath of the frame. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my pencil in just to sort of do this first bit, because trying to work it out, I don't want to be worrying about it. So I'm going to put in, I'm going to start maybe here, I'm going to put in a bit of a heart shape, quite a long heart shape, you see? And then next to it, I'm going to put in another one, see, right close to it, you see? And then next to it, you see, I'm going to try and sneak it in that area. Now you can see there, look, where it's starting to sort of form a bit of a sort of a string going in. See, I can come in now and I'm just going to pen in those bits underneath that frame. So there's my frame I want to keep. Top. Now if you want to go straight over, that's fine. So I want mine to sort of look like it's going in and out of that frame. There we go. So I won't need those bits in a little bit. Oh, and do you know, you always hear the kettle, don't you? It's great. Yeah, Leslie's sorting me a cup of tea out. You see, I'm sort of coming always from this sort of inner section here, so they're joining together. Let's put another one. Quite a long sort of... There we go. Oh, thank you, Deb. They're going to look great, aren't they? Let's add a little bit of a curl. And a little bit of a curl on the top there. And maybe a couple of curls down there too. Not going to add too many. Look at that. It's lovely, isn't it? All right, let's have another one of those. I've got space down here. So you might want to turn it so it's facing you so you can see what you're doing. But I'm just gonna go with the flow. There you go. There's my first two. Am I gonna go over or under? Do you know what? I'm gonna stick with the under, so you're not gonna see much more of that. Yeah. See, this time I'm using the pen because I can just sort of make out where things are gonna go this time. Let's have another one there. And see, going back to that same sort of middle ground almost. Let's have another one in there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring a curve in from here, so you can see that it's going underneath, and one there, look. Right, it's starting to build quite nicely, isn't it? Looking bad at all. In there. Do you know, Leslie, they can hear the tea.
Oh, God.
As it's coming.
I'm only making them for Sandra, nobody else.
Oh. Yeah, oh, bless it. Yeah, let's just come on in. I'm just going to add a little line, look, just to the centre bits of those. There we are. Okay. All right, so let's have a look where we're at. Okay, got a couple of spaces here. I'm just going to bring, it's from here maybe, I'm just going to bring a curve out. I'm going to come over the top this time. And another one. Okay. And oh, Debbie, Leslie says no, she's not making anybody else one. Oh, see, I'm going to go underneath. Let's have another one. All right, and maybe one here, and a couple there. And now you're wondering what's going to come from this, aren't you? It's going to have another one here, maybe. Okay. That's, yeah, fair dues. I'll drink this one for you. Oh, it's nice when it's all. Okay, we're ready for this then. Okay, so this could be a zinger, it could be a zot and a zinger, but I thought we'd try something a little bit different. Well, I say different, same but different. So I'm going to start with the point there, and I'm actually going to create a bit of a loop, just like before. Back on itself. And then keep going, and again, it's going to get smaller and smaller. All right? And then just to sort of change the stem a bit, I'm just doing a squiggly line, either side, just as it's going. There we go. And again, put your dot in and squiggle, you see? It's just going to get smaller and smaller. All right. And then, of course, just going to put in that little swirl. Let's have a look at how they do. There we go. Look at those. They fit well with the leaves, don't they? It's quite a nice one to do. Again, it's getting smaller. And let's just add that little bit of a wave down there. Okay. Oh, no, Bernadette, we've not really done a bit of a sort of it's not a landscape as such, is it? It's more of a bouquet, I suppose, today, but it's nice to mix them up. I do try and give you variations, but also something with a bit of interest. All right, so same here, look. I'm going to go straight around that curl. Oh, Sue, you'll be fine. You just build it up as you're going. And nothing has to be in the same place. How's the Jack Russell doing? Has he got the hang of it? I always find with Benji, it's picking up the pen that's the problem. I usually find that he wants to do it with his teeth, and I end up with no pen, or a tortillon that's in bits. Oh, Bernadette, yeah, it does look a bit, doesn't it? Okay, so see why we did these lines first? It's just nice to add something a bit different in. There we go. Of course, once you've done these, you might think, oh, I need a few more. And you can go ahead and add some more in. That's fine. Let's have a look at this. I know, I think Benji has that problem as well, bless him. Okay, so just to sort of enhance slightly, we're just going to bring in another line here. And I know we've done this one before. It's just that little droplet on the end. And then just bring them sort of down each side. There we go. And then join them on. Okay. So we just want to add just a few. This just sort of brings in the last bits and pulls it all together. Oh yeah, Bernadette, how are you getting on? Are you alright? Over the accident and emergency. Goodness me. There we go. So just if you've got a couple of areas now that might just need a little bit of something. Now my Benji's not seen snow. We had a little bit. But they are funny. Okay, so I'm just going to add a few little bits. I'll add a bit down here, look. Just going in there. Okay. All right, now we've got space here, and you think, oh, what am I going to do with that? Because we could leave it if we want to, but I'm just gonna aura around it. So I've got a little bit of something there. We go. Okay. And if you've got something on the other side, I've got a very little here. Just gonna aura around those little bits. So here I'm not going to do anything with that one. I'm going to leave that. I think now's the time we can actually put the frame in. So whether you want to use your straight edges before, but I kind of like to draw them in, as you know. So see, I'm just going to work my way through this. I like to see where I'm heading, so I know all that's going underneath. This bit here. Turning it round. So I'm sort of reinforcing it a bit as I go. So I've got that kind of sketchy look, and it looks like I've not gone in with a straight edge. Working my way up there. Now this is where we did those hearts, with the pencil. So you can see now, I just wanted to make sure it followed through from one bit to the other, really. And again here, you're not going to see much there because it's going inside that flower there. Oh, again, no, honestly, it's not wrong. If you've used all your space, it's fine. If you want to leave your space and not do anything in it, again, that's fine. But I'm going to fill it. And I'm coming back in with this swirly, bobbly tangle. Just going to fill the space. You see, just as before. I'm just coming in now and just adding those little bobbles as we go. And again, not making them too big. We're starting with that dot, just adding those little bumps as I go. It's a great one, this. I love this tangle. It's a really nice one. And it looks good actually when they're all together. Yeah, it's going to give it a nice background, I think. So let's just take our time and just fill up the space. I mean, you could do one whole one if you wanted to. So it just got bigger and bigger. Or you could do small ones like my design here. It's all going to look good. You see why now? We just added that little aura in there just to give it a little bit of distance. So again, just coming in with that dot and adding those little bubbles over the top. There we go. And just filling in the space as necessary. But you know, I'm sticking within the frame now, so it's just on the inside of that frame. There we go. Now I did have just a little bit here, like, so I'm just going to sort of add a couple in, just so it looks like we've got a few going, a little bit there. Okay, let's have a look how we're doing. Whew, quite a piece that. But a lot going on. Of course, we've got to remember there's got to be a couple of little bubbles in places. Now, of course, and I'm sure Julie's already done it, but if you're wanting to add some zingers in, by all means, go ahead and add some in. But I'm happy with just adding a few of these bubbles, I think. There we go. Okay. Oh, so, back to pencil then. So, it's a case of now thinking about how we're going to shade this. Oh, a quick sip of that tea. So I'm going to go back to where we started, which is the flower in the centre. And I'm just going to add a touch of pencil, just around that original swirl that we did. And then just sort of on the insides of each of those little petals. See, I'm not going over the top with this. I'm not adding lots and lots because it's quite a small flower, really. Alright. Just little bits there. There we go. Now, of course, you shouldn't hopefully see your little hearts there because mine are quite heavy. I'm just going to come in and just before I do anything else, just get rid of those because I don't want them to sort of spoil the final view. That's it. I'm not going to worry about the rest of it. It's just they were a little bit dark. Okay, so looking at these shapes, let's add a touch top and bottom of the gaps. I'm just going to add a little bit at the bottom there because it's quite dark anyway. I might actually just add a bit on the edges. You know, you might not necessarily see it, but let's just go ahead and add some in anyway. So doing the same here at top and bottom. Not worry about being neat, just put some graphite on and then just sort of add some sort of towards the top there on either side and then just a little bit round the bottom. Ah, is that why? You could always grow it, you could add some to it if you wanted. You see there, I've got quite a... I'm just going to get rid of those. In there. Of course, you could use any sort of formula with these. You could use any given amount of whichever flower you like. You could make lots of different images. So it'd be nice to sort of, experiment a bit. Okay, I'm just sort of adding some pencil around that aura. And I'm going to go just all the way around the inside of the frame there, see? I've obviously only where I've drawn it, so a little bit there. Okay, this flower, just a little bit more pencil, you know where we added that extra little fringe in the middle. And then of course we've got the hearts just at the bottom edge. Making you wait for the shadows today, aren't we? We're going to use the tortillon all in one go, I think. Just put the pencil in first. Alright, so your little leaf, ferny leaf shapes, I'm just going to add a little bit in the middle. Not all the way to the top, just about 2/3 of the way. And same with any of the others that we've got there. Just sort of keeping it consistent. Okay? These sections, these little ones, we could go in the middle and add just a little bit, that bottom edge there. Doesn't need much. A little bit. And then of course, coming to the frame, we're keeping the frame pretty plain, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pencil to either side, wherever you can see it. There we go. I'm not adding a massive amount, it's quite a narrow frame, so I don't want to totally colour it in. A little bit there. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Alright, all the pencils in ready, so here we go. Tortillon. Oh, quick sip of tea, it's got to be. Oh, okay, so I'm going to start in the middle and just ever so gently just going to soften the edge. I don't want to fill the whole of that centre in. And then again, look, just sort of a little back and forth, a bit of a zigzag sort of effect going on there. Just ever so gently touching that pencil just to sort of move it a little bit, enough to soften the edges but not to go all across the shape. We want to keep some of the white. Okay, just work your way around. Sort of very, very light pressure, gentle zigzaggy motion. Okay. Right, and then onto these that we did. Let's go a little bit larger. There you go. And I'm just going to very gently push from the top in and the bottom in. So we're getting a little bit of a highlight in the middle of those. Okay. And then just gently drawing down and softening the edges of those on the edge. So just pulling that down and that up. Okay. Just a little bit more of a hand there. There we go. And then again, just and then bottom section. A little bit down the sides. Okay, same on that last one there. So put that down a bit. A little bit there. We still want that little bit of a white of the paper or the highlight. Now of course if you've used a coloured tile, you might want to go in with your white pastel pencil there and add a little bit of a highlight. Again, look with these hearts, I'm just softening the edge and not covering the whole thing. So just giving it a little bit of shadow on that bottom section there. There we go. Then of course my leaves, I'm just going to repeat the process really. It's just a bit of a zigzag, just softening the edges there. And the same, just sort of in a bit of a swirl with those. There we go. And again, just working my way out. A bit of a swirl there. And a couple there, look. Okay, the flowers. Just going to soften the edge, just pulling out that graphite just a little. So we've still got the white of the paper underneath. Then of course, a couple more things. We've got the inner frame, so this is where I'm just going to go across everything, where we can see the frame. And you see here where I'd got that little word line, I'm just going to go around the line, again leaving the middle. And then the last thing is the frame itself. I'm just going to soften the edge of that side and soften the edge of that side. Now I might have to go in with the point on that edge just to get going. See, I want to leave a nice white line down the middle there. And of course, if you do find you've done it and you've lost your line, you could go back in with a white pencil or a gel pen. But it's nice if possible to keep it. Which is why we didn't put a massive amount of pencil on there. Okay, so just a couple of touches up with our black pen, just to sort of bring it back out. I'm going to start in the centre, so just be careful that you don't lean on your pencil lines that you've just done. I'm just going to increase some of that black there, so I'm just going to work like on those corners in the bit middle there. See, so I've just sort of done the inside of the petal and just a little bit up each corner. There we go. Not much, you don't need to go all the way, it's just about giving it a little bit of a definition, just to sort of enhance that 3-dimension. Okay, see? And I've gone a bit crazy with that, that's okay. There we go. And then I'm going to go onto the inside of the frame and just redefine that line with my pen. Just so you can tell where the inner bit of the frame is. Okay. And then we'll have a look at it and see what we think. Okay. So I think with that in mind, that's probably about as far as I want to go. I mean, we can go in and enhance other things, maybe, maybe a little bit here, just so it's coming over that frame. But we don't want to do everything, because otherwise we lose that sort of sense of depth. We want to keep that. Okay? Oh, it does, doesn't it, Julie? Yeah, just bringing that bit of pen in just sort of makes the difference. So we could go in and those little lines that we did, just sort of pull them back out. And then, of course, if you've got a coloured tile coming in now and adding in some of the white pencil makes a bit of a difference as well. I mean, we could use a bit of the white pencil, on the middle bits there. I mean, you won't. I can see it on the tile here because I'm right close to it. It might not be something you see on the screen, but you can go back in and you can add the white elements. As I say, you can go in and put your white line back in if you want to, if you feel that you need to. But I thought, you could go all out colour with this one, couldn't you? Really, it's a pretty good one to sort of get lots of colour in there. I think it needs a little bit of shadow in there, but I thought for that very reason we'd leave it and just go monochrome today. But please feel free to go ahead and do whatever you want to do with it. It's yours, your tile, your design, your artwork. Just don't forget to put your signature. And that is, oh my goodness me, number 98 done. So 2 more to go. So, okay, tomorrow, if you can make it tomorrow, that'd be lovely. Back here at 2 o'clock. I am going to use a circle. I'm going to use one of the circles out of the Zen Buttons pack if you've got the essentials. Just because it's a slightly thinner ring. It's a bit of it like a disc. So you want a bit of a donut shape, a thin donut. If you haven't, please don't worry about it. It's not a problem. You can sketch a circle out. You can draw around a cup. You just want a bit of a frame, really. Or, you could even do it square if you want to. It doesn't matter. So I'm just prepping you in case. So, yeah, if you can, that'd be lovely. Hope you've enjoyed today. And, yeah, I will see you tomorrow. All right, you take care, everybody. And I'll look forward to seeing what you do with this one. And I'll meet you here at 2 o'clock for tile number 99. All right, you take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.